The House passing a jobs bill this afternoon, a $15 billion plan that they hope will get people back to work. The version is a modified one of that one passed by the Senate last week. The Senate will take up today's bill sometime next week, according to a Senate aide. Given that we've spent more than $2 trillion on bailouts and stimulus and jobs creation already, is a $15 billion bill just window dressing? Let's bring in Nancy Skinner, host of The Nancy Skinner Show, and also joining us, economist, Professor Dr. Peter Morici. Thank you both for joining us. Nancy, I'll let you start off with this, but, you know, so what? We pass a $15 billion, I don't know, stimulus, welfare for rich people who might create jobs or not. What's the point? I don't need another $15 billion in welfare creation.
We're talking jobs, Cody. And if the Republicans, I can't wait for this vote, because if they can't vote for a pared down, pork-free, paid for, as in pay-as-you-go, bill to create jobs. When we got the jobs numbers we got today, down 29,000, the firing has stopped, but the hiring hasn't yet picked up steam. So this is a tax incentive, an exemption on the payroll tax for companies that hire people who have been employed at least 60 days. That's good. We need to get that engine going. And transportation funds, an immediate shot in the arm for employment. Why would you not vote, even if it's small, why would you vote against that?
Well,
right
Nancy,
now?
you say, I see your talking points that you emailed to us. You say, quote, the only reason I can see that the GOP would vote against the jobs bill is that they want the economy to stay weak until the November election. Come on, do you really believe that any lawmaker, because it's anti-incumbent fever out there, if the economy stays weak, that hurts everybody. I can't see that a person would be that selfish to put their own agenda ahead of helping people. That can't be it, Nancy.
What I'm saying is that, look, what other reason would you vote against a jobs bill in this environment? And you know what? It is going to be really, the wrath is going to be borne by mostly Democrats in this, because it is a Democratic president, and in the first election off turn, that's what happens. So, I mean, I can't, what is the explanation for voting against it?
I'll give you one. Here, you ready? Here it is.
Give it to you.
We just spent $862 billion on a stimulus package, and guess what? The unemployment was supposed to stay at or below 8%. It's 9.7, probably going to go to 9.8% tomorrow. We continue to spend, and by the way, if you go to recovery.gov, and people beat me up all the time about this website, the Obama administration monitors this, puts these numbers in. They're pushing about $450,000 per job created so far. So what's $15 billion? I'll tell you what $15 billion is. $15 billion is one more $15 billion on a road of $15 billion here, $15 billion next month, the month after, and likely another $60 billion by the time you get to November 2nd, 2010.
Well, they're saying that's too small. The stimulus is too big, and this was too small.
No one said it's too small. Don't do anything.
Stop
spending. Stop. It's not working.
Peter, you know, Peter, I want to drill into a little bit on this thing.
My goodness, if I heard someone put lipstick on a pig, job losses are not down. Just because they weren't 500,000 last week doesn't mean that 465 or 70 isn't huge. These kinds of expenditures, where you give people some money to put people on the payrolls for 90 days, 6 months, 9 months, don't really work very well unless they're going to make something people will buy. And the basic problem out there is there's not enough demand, because the Obama administration doesn't want to do the heavy lifting. It doesn't want to do what's hard. It doesn't want to fix the trade deficit. It doesn't want to take on China. That's the problem. To characterize this as a Republican versus Democrat, if they don't vote for this, they're not for jobs creation.
But Peter, what would you suggest?
Nancy, I want you to address something that you brought up earlier.
What's the hard stuff? Doing something about the currency with China. That's the hard stuff. Doing what he promised to do on the campaign trail. That's the hard stuff, and he's not willing to do this. Look, we've just spent almost $800 billion not creating jobs. Do you really think another $15 billion is going to make a diddly bit of difference?
That's exactly right.
Nancy, address that exactly. I mean, here we are. You're talking about a stimulus of 6.2%, tax incentive if I'll hire someone who's been out of work for 60 days. First of all, you're screwing everybody who just lost their job now. And second of all, it's only $15 billion and 6.2% for that.
What is the definition of insanity? To stop doing something, to keep on doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
It has,
all I
but
can
look
say
at
is less crazy spending
Peter.
$15 billion.
Okay, go ahead, Nancy. Jump in there. Hold
Talking
on,
about
Peter,
insanity here.
Go ahead,
you know,
Nancy.
Peter, the stimulus, look at economists agree across the board. It worked.
Really? I'm
yes,
an economist
it
like a plumber. I'm staring at
He's
it
an
right now. I
economist.
didn't know you took it down. It
We
didn't
went
work.
from 700,000 jobs,
$800 billion is crazy.
jobs a month down to $20,000. The decline is clear. Look at the graph.
I look
things
at the graph every
Retail
day,
sales
ma'am.
are
I
up
look at
today.
the graph. We're
Things
still
are
bleeding
starting
jobs.
to
At
get
this
better.
point, it should turn around.
If anything, it needed to be larger. The stimulus needed
Nancy,
to be larger.
Oh, my
stop.
goodness.
Stop.
Oh,
Peter,
my
Peter,
goodness.
hold on
Drill
one
a
second.
bigger hole in the boat.
Yo, Peter, stop for 1 second.
Okay.
Nancy, larger. You got $862 billion in stimulus. You got 15 here. You got 75 for mortgage mitigation. You have $25 billion for caulking your home. The programs keep coming, yet employment keeps
Hey,
dropping.
listen, I've
It's
got a
not
tax incentive for
Peter,
putting up
stop.
picture
Peter,
hooks.
Peter, please let Nancy answer.
Okay.
But if we hadn't done this, okay, it's so easy now to say this. Had we not gone ahead with the stimulus plan, who knows? We could have had a complete collapse in the financial institutions, in the housing market, in retail, in everything, the auto industry. And so it did take. We were at that precipice. Those actions. It was George Bush who started the first stimulus,
all right.
$484
And
billion.
that failed,
We
so we
needed
have
to
another
do
one?
it.
Nancy, let's give Peter the last word because we're just
Sure.
about out of time. Peter, Nancy said if you listen to the economists out there, they'll tell you, that this is the right thing to do. You're an economist. Tell us what is the right thing to do.
The right thing to do is to do something about the trade deficit with China. If China doesn't want to revalue their currency, we can revalue it for them. Do that, the manufacturing jobs will come back, and people will go to work. Obama acknowledged that on the campaign trail, but he's got amnesia since he's gotten to the White House. No more spending. Let's fix trade.
That's it, Nancy Skinner. Thanks for you're a very good sport, Nancy, for putting up with all of us. We appreciate it.
Have a great happy hour, guys.
And Peter Morisi, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we need Peter next time in the flesh or on the camera because, boy, he wanted to jump in there and be on the phone.
We need a little
It's
light that says,
difficult.
"Stop talking, Pete."
Yeah, because it's hard
I
for
would
him
like to see
to
those
be on
veins
tap.
bulging. He would have
On
been up on
tap, the
camera.
Tea Party's making a stand in one very, very crucial primary race. Arizona Senate candidate J.D. Hayworth is right in the center.